Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot and welcome to not your traditional monthly readings. I hope I am going to get time to do the monthly readings this month, but I'm going to do these ones first, and then of course we've got the eclipse coming up and I've got quite a few hours at work, so I'll get out what I can. There's a few things I wanted to do. Now, if you've watched me for a while, you know that I like to use a lot of decks. I always like to test myself. That's why I fairly constantly get new decks. And there's when I used to teach a tarot course, some 20 years ago, I used to say to people, you can use anything for divination, as above, so below, as within, so without. In a holographic universe, everything is contained in a piece of everything else. There's so if you wanted to use cutout photos from OK and Hello magazine, assuming that's a symbolism that you are familiar with and that you're comfortable with, crack on, you do it. So obviously with that sort of thing, you need a symbolic alphabet because you're going to have a limited amount of photos. Now, I've wanted to do, and thanks to the eclipse, I think, has finally given me the courage to do this on YouTube, is I've wanted to do a reading using also Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Now, I've never actually played. I've tried to play, but I love the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. Full stop. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, with this amount of cards and more to come, no doubt, because I'll probably start shopping for them now. The worry about a symbolic alphabet is not quite as intense. So, because there's plenty to work with. And I was flicking through them the other night and just like, oh yeah, these will be perfect. It's about time I decided to do it. Now, last night I decided to have a look at YouTube to see if anyone else had done it. And I found a video from a Tony Ziegler who did a video about talking about using the Yu-Gi-Oh cards for divination and then never did another video again. So, has Tony Ziegler been co-opted by the Shadow Games? Now, if you don't know what I mean and you don't know your Yu-Gi-Oh, the whole idea is based that apparently this is an ancient Egyptian tradition where they were basically having astral battles with called the Shadow Games. And so these are supposedly all related to ancient Egyptian gods and what have you. Although they were ancient Egyptian gods that seem to be completely made up for the show, but who cares? What a beautiful image these Shadow Games are. Apart from when they're not, but everything has its good and its bad side. So, assuming that I don't get co-opted by the Shadow Games and whipped away somehow, you will see these videos. But it should be fun. Now, as ever, it's a general reading. General reading rules apply. Do not give away your power to a tarot reader. I should be telling you stuff that you probably already know. As ever, I will say take the reading as a whole or not. I'm going to be using the Celtic cross this time. There's a past and a present in that spread. If the past and the present do not fit, don't try and make it fit. Go and watch your moon, go and watch your rising. In fact, always try to watch your rising, and so you don't have to listen to my blurb a second time. There is a timestamp down in the description to get past it straight to the reading. Now, also down there is a link to a birth chart, two different online birth chart generators if you don't know what your rising sign is, because that's something that if you have your birth time, you need to know it. Now, also down there is the Facebook page for this channel. Now, that's got its own inbox, so if you want to approach me for a personal reading, that's the best way to do it. There is also a link tree there for my email and for my Tumblr and for all different other Twitter. But seriously, Facebook inbox is the best way to get hold of me. Now, as ever, I would say ask a question prior to the reading, pause the video, think about all the questions that are around you and be aware of all of them. Focus on one of them, but be aware of all of them. Cards will answer what they want. Now I am trying to grow the channel, so thank you to my returning subscribers, and If you are new here, welcome, and feel free to press the subscribe button while you're passing. And also, a like helps each video get seen. And I'm rather hoping, I'm so looking forward to doing these Yu-Gi-Oh readers. Now, there will be a couple of Oracle cards in as well, because I can never resist these. But yeah, that's about it. So like I said, general reading, timing's not absolute. Other people, if they turn up in the reading, I see actions and energies, so maybe I get you and them mixed up. I don't think it happens that often. And nobody, I always say, if it does happen, comment down below, let me know. And nobody has done yet. So yeah, let's crack on. I'll bring up your cards. Okay, Taurus, there's an interesting dilemma that I see you in at the moment, because it's almost like you have achieved a form of recognition, one that you are quite potentially sought after, one that you were committed to quite some time ago, but you are also thinking, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again, and I'm not entirely sure that I have the right resources for what it is that I'm wanting to achieve. I am wanting to declare my mastery and declare my rulership of this whole sphere. This sounds really much like a work reading. And we have the Emperor on how that you are feeling. That you are setting a goal, that you are wanting to have people following you, whereas I rather feel there's an element of something's coming up that will appear like it's a bit left field, a bit sort of someone turning up asking for some help with something which really upsets your plans. But this is what Spirit's bringing in. So somehow in this upset, there is, this disturbance. There is a boon for you. There is a blessing for you, because I think here, this is where, you've got the recognition at the moment, but it's really sort of wearing you down at the same time. And this person coming in requiring assistance is like a breath of fresh air. Now, I don't think that you're first going to notice that it's a breath of fresh air, but the result of working with this person and giving the assistance that is necessary is actually going to give you space to move forward quite a bit. Now, we've got Three of Coins here as your central card, the recognition that I was on about. Also a forward motion with practical plans. But this is clarified by Master Hyperion, which all that's saying to me is that idea of guiding light, because you have how you're feeling, the Emperor with the beckoning light card. Now, what does this one do? Discards all the cards in your hand to the graveyard, then add the same number of light monsters from your graveyard to your hand. So it's almost you're taking charge and renovating your approach forward. And this is why, because I do feel like you are engaging other people in this, mainly because other people are supporting you. The other people pile position has the 10 of coins, so that whole other people are helping provide that sense of security, both financial and practical, as well as emotional loyalty wise, and able to help build things and ground things. And this is clarified by the heraldic beast twin-headed eagle, which I don't really need to read what attack and defense points and stuff it's got. It really gives me a good sense of cause here. So whatever it is that you have committed to and that you've been doing with recognition again and again and again, and so to a certain extent it's been a little bit boring, This new influence, it's breathing new life in. You're able to shake away some shackles, some negative thought patterns that have been around you, and you are really able to excel in. There's a reason why you've had this recognition, because I think you've got a bit disenchanted with the recognition you've achieved, because where's the new stuff? Where's the challenge? Well, here is the challenge. Here is this person coming with a new idea that there's. I wouldn't be surprised if this is someone asking for assistance. This is someone coming from a poverty space with a lack of something, whatever the lack is. And it's something where I think, were you to get involved, you encounter or realize that there is a lack of similar something on your side, but giving them the assistance proves why you've received this recognition. You are able to show that to yourself, and you gain support here. Now, this is by assisting this person or assisting this idea, that this person or idea will also be surrounded by some form of synchronicity. There will be one of those, if you've seen the Yellow Submarine animated movie, remember there was a big blue hand that used to fly around the meanies and point at things. And I think maybe it's not a blue meanie hand, but there is a big hand, like the National Lottery hand, coming in and pointing at, but by the way, look at this. This is where you're going forward. Now, you need strategy to do it. But with the right strategy, you are really raising yourself up a level, and you are gaining, you're proving to yourself and to others that you have the skill here, which you do. There's the Magician card here. But the Emperor, you're trying to take charge somehow, or you're feeling in control somehow. And yes, you are getting, with this Seven of Swords, Sanctuary in the Sky cards, you are leveling up for something. And I think that if whatever obstacles are presented to you, especially if they are in the shape of people or actions, 9 times out of 10, you can just sidestep them and let them destroy themselves. This is what this marshmallow creature indicates. But there is a wish fulfillment here. But there's also obviously the danger of, because you've had this recognition, because you're getting so very skilled, you've got the Magician card that you've got the powers to work with, you've got the Emperor card of setting the rules, defining how things are going to be. There is a risk of falling for your own PR. It's weird, because I feel that at the start of the reading, you are not believing your own PR. And this opportunity that comes up gives you the opportunity to believe your own PR because it's actually true. But don't go so far that you end up shooting out the other side. You are believing your own PR because of the depth of skill level that you have, but that is skill level to be used for a specific end. Page of Cups here. What do these Thriller Rabka things do? They're basically flying sharks covered with knives. It's almost like this is a working thing. It feels very much like a practical or working environment reading. But, like, say you're a defense lawyer or a defense attorney. You're defending somebody, i.e. the person being brought to you here, because it's the right thing to do, because you can affect change with this case that you are tackling, not because it makes you a fantastic shark lawyer. The effect on your own reputation is, or should be during this process, irrelevant. it will enhance your reputation, but that's not something that you need to concern yourself with initially, because I almost feel like you are setting something right by assisting this person. But there's also constantly, with this hazy flame sphinx, you see, hazy flame, it can't even decide whether it's a flame or not. You know, there is a massive riddle about that. There's this sense of, I'm doing this because it's right, but on a practical level, why am I doing this? Because in the long term, it enhances your reputation, but in the short term, it is simply the right thing to do. And although it'll upset your plans, it will also, fortunately, upset your boredom. And so that you get something more out of the position that you're in. Now, we have Poseidon with Avarice here. As you notice, I forgot to do the Oracle cards in the shuffle. Poseidon with Avarice, which I think I've covered all of that with the Don't Turn Into a Shark. Ushubtis is a card that is telling you to seek assistance in what you're doing. Now, yes, you have to seek assistance because that assistance is ready there waiting for you. There are people who are well ready to get behind you and to support you with whatever it is that you're trying to do, which is hopefully helping this person. And then Sahaquiel, the Angel of Sky, is indicating to me that this is an overwhelming issue that you are coming to grips with. You know, if we was to put it in the scale of the American justice system, or the British, because we've got one now, it's a sort of, and carry on with that defense attorney image. This is a case that will get to the Supreme Court. But along the way of where you're going there, you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? But you're doing this because you're good at it, and you're doing it because it's the right thing to do. In the long term, it will really benefit you. It will elevate you up a level, but that is not the reason for doing it. Because if that is the reason for doing it, you'll trip up over yourself. That was a bit lectury, wasn't it? Sorry about that, Taurus. Well, there's nothing else that I can actually see there. So if this means anything to you, Taurus, comment down below. It's going to be a busy month for me this month. So hopefully you will have monthlies. You will have eclipse readings. So I'll see you on whatever reading, I manage to turn out next. Now, obviously, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and speak to you soon, Taurus. This looks like an excellent challenge. This looks like fun. Cheers.